Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of Gracefall. Ignore everything behind me.
Everything's fine. We're all fine here.
Fine.
How are you?
Situation normal.
We're keeping it together.
Grace fall.
So last time, a giant bird attacked the ship that our player characters were on. The player characters that we were introduced to, including Clangley, Wynne,
Cheerio.
Claire, and Issabel. Our crew for the next a bunch of episodes. They have been sent to the planet below to explore and find resources for the hyper-civilized moon above, named Wyan Yoth. The planet is Elsyer. I plan on doing a little primer on the setting episode soon. The ship crash landed in a bunch of trees and proceeded. The crew proceeded to lower themselves to the floor. Currently on the ship still are Issa, Clangley, and the captain and first mate, Griss, and Hamlet. On the forest floor below are Dexter, Wheezy, Gloom, Wynne, and Claire. So, what would you all like to do?
Oh, I think the first thing we have to do is maybe figure out a way to get this ship down. Or perhaps build a shelter. I was initially going to suggest we simply shelter inside the ship, but that may not be practical at the moment.
How sturdy is the ship up in the trees? Is the amount of swaying I'm feeling wind or concerning?
Give me an intelligence check.
I should be okay at those. Nine.
It seems fine.
Now... Okay, you know what? I actually might be able to... Okay, I think I might actually have, like, a tool that I could use for this skill. Okay, I have proficiency in carpenter's tools and mason's tools. I was wondering if I could use my engineering knowledge to determine if it was possible to, by basically pruning away selective trees, cause the ship to lower to the ground but slower.
Yeah, give me a check.
Would you like carpenter tools, or would that be acceptable?
Yeah.
Okay, I get the big bonus for that. My big bonus, I think I get a +7. Holy shit, a nat 20. That's a 27.
So we're on the ground safely.
Yeah, he's already rigged up this, like, elaborate blueprint. He prints one out of his mouth. This elaborate blueprint that it shows where the specific points are that you would need to take down or prune trees in order to safely lower the ship to the ground, assuming Andy accepts it. He's devised some sort of weird pulley system.
Okay. Sorry, hold on a second.
Just opens his mouth, you hear dot matrix printer noises, and a piece of paper just starts coming out of it.
That was exactly what I imagined. I don't know if Andy's going to allow that, though.
Do I sound better? Let me just ask.
Yes, you do.
That. Cool. Okay. So. Sorry, there we go.
Okay, perfect. Thank you all. Okay, so you want to see. You rolled. Okay, so you rolled a natural 20.
27 total.
If
the answer is no, that's not possible, that is an acceptable answer.
From where you are currently, you think if you could get it lower, doing that might help. But if you basically start cutting trees, it's just going to start to. If you start cutting branches, it's just kind of. I don't think it's going to go down very safely. If you cut branches from under it, it's just going to go clump and then crack a bunch of branches. It's really heavy. You're surprised. These trees are super big and strong, but it's going to be hard to do it that way. With a 27, I will say, there is not a 0% chance it will succeed. I'm gonna
say no.
Then. But
see, like that was actually what I envisioned. Was by cutting away like just a small amount of the trees, we can get them to buckle in such a way that relatively safely it will lower itself to the ground.
You don't think you could do it? Look, that is a way to get it down, for sure. It'll go down. You don't think it would necessarily go intact. Now, if you could get the ship working again and fire it, so that it kind of is then a descent, or somehow Wynne can figure out another way to cast Earthbind on it.
Well, if we can get the landing gear functional, then that won't be as huge of an issue.
I thought the problem for us getting the ship going again wasn't the ship itself, but the fact that there are now more trees in front of it.
You cannot really take off the way it needs to kind of be flat on the ground to take off.
We could clear a runway like in front of it just for later and use that to like build shelter. The trees, the timber.
Yeah, or not flat on the ground. It needs to be able to roll like a plane to take off. It's not
There were other ships that we weren't the only ship that came down, right?
Correct. There were a total of 5 ships.
Do we have any idea where the other 4 went?
Gris and Hamlet were the last you heard are arguing about that on the roof of the ship.
Neat. Okay. So for now, what Issabel is going to concern herself with doing is setting up a more, a less makeshift lift up and out of the ship, because as long as it's up there, as far as she's concerned, we have an elevated piece of shelter, and we're not necessarily camping on the ground, which might have more big, dangerous things on it.
I will help with that.
Okay.
If you would like to, I don't know if you want to make a roll or one advantage or something.
Okay.
I'm still in the ship. I think Clangley's on the surface.
I think.
Yes.
Okay, if Clangley's on the surface, then yeah. But if Issabel is not in any particular rush, I'm going to say you can just do it. It'll take time. If you want to do it quickly, then you'll have to make a check. But yeah, if you just want to just do it, make sure it's done right, succeed.
No, this is her keeping herself busy and doing something useful while the people who have a better idea of what the ship kind of needs to go forward. Because, like, she can make an engine and fire the thing, but controlling it and the people who know how to do that is a different skill set.
Okay. Let's see. Perfect. Okay. On the ground, is there anything you all would like to be doing?
I guess start setting up some kind of camp.
Claire is kind of like hanging off of the elbow of Clangley and like the awkward friend of the party that doesn't know anyone. She doesn't know Clangley that well either, but he's the only one who's like interacted with her in any significant sense, so...
Claire. How are you?
Well, we just crash landed on the surface of a foreign uninhabited planet, so I would say not great. But at least there's solid ground under me now, so I'd say better than when we were actually crashing.
So it has occurred to me that I may have kidnapped you by accident, and I wanted to apologize for that.
You can't kidnap someone who has literally no other place to go.
Oh. Oh dear. It's a lot to unpack there. No offense.
How about we start by unpacking the camp?
Yes, I think that's quite a capital idea. Yes.
I'll just... She just grabs like a roll of like rations and starts kind of like digging through it.
What?
And distributing anything. Like she's like, I can't eat any of this. Does anyone want to eat?
Lady Claire, is there something wrong?
Everyone just kind of looks at, because they're all Warforged on the ground, they all just kind of look at Wynne.
Wynn's like not even paying attention. She's off like running around the perimeter, like picking things up and examining them with like a little like magnifying glass and like sticking it in her pockets for like later observation.
Just a bunch of crap. Okay.
I have an important question. What's Spicy doing?
Spicy is very studiously also like on top of Wynn's, like on like the brim of her hat, looking at the magnifying glass too.
Good.
Perfect.
That's important.
Okay. So all the other Warforged just kind of look around and like, Gloom says, I will take some food, like as if to maybe make you feel better.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Here you go. Just keep that safe, I guess, buddy. I don't know.
Sustenance.
Claire's gonna like surreptitiously put the box of rations away and look for a way to keep herself at least looking busy.
Okay. So just poking around. Mm-hmm.
I wanted to set up a Clangley's going to like rummage around and try and think of something that for Claire to do so she doesn't feel left out, and it's like, perhaps we could start a fire. It would alert the other ships of our position, as well as providing a place for us to cook any game that our organic compatriots might come across.
I actually don't think that's such a good idea. Starting a fire could alert any sort of, or attract, I guess, any sort of dangerous. They did say this was going to be like dangerous, right? That there would be things for us, like monsters, I guess. I don't know. If we want to build some kind of signal, it should be something up high, and that wouldn't, isn't bright to attract dangerous predators. I don't know. The person who built me had a doctorate, and now I have all this knowledge that I don't really know if I should be using it. Is that a good idea? Maybe?
I don't quite fully know if fire is going to attract wild animals. But I too have a doctorate. What is your doctorate in? I mean, what is your builder's doctorate in?
Necromancy, technically.
Ah. I did not know they offered doctorates in necromancy.
Well, they don't. It was, sort of like a pseudo-medical degree, but more in, like,
Also
biology.
a pseudo-medical degree.
I guess, but she used it to, experiment with dead things, and that's kind of how I came about, so...
You are just a stream of consciousness, one long, nervous stream of consciousness, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, I guess. Okay.
Do you want to just... Do you want to talk about... Clangle will kind of wave
No,
off.
I don't.
Clangle will kind of wave
You
off.
keep asking me all these questions.
Just... Alright then. Everyone, let's get back to setting up camp. Clangley looks like genuinely worried. But like, he wants to help, but he's also like, maybe just gonna give her some
It's
space
just
now.
like a negative feedback loop. Your worry is magnifying her worry, and she's sending it back to you, and it's just not great.
Okay, Wheezy, have you found anything unusual in this area?
No.
Remember, we use your outside voice.
It's as loud as I can talk.
I'm so sorry. I'll try to fix that.
Why?
Oh. Never mind.
How's that lift coming along?
Yeah. So there are parts on the ship to build a small crane. It's not supposed to be this just for like this distance. Oh, I forgot Dust is down with you all too. So he probably, as soon as you put the food away, he had probably been like, oh. And he doesn't want to bother anyone again. So he kind of just starts walking around again, maybe paddling up to Gloom, like, are you going to eat that actually? Because you can't. So, so you've built a crane that you've jerry-rigged it the best you can to try and lower stuff to the ground. Somebody's might have to, like, they might have to build a platform down there because it's not going to... I think I said you were 100 feet in the air. The crane is meant to not do that much.
Crane's probably for like 50.
Probably.
It's bolted to the floor of the ship for now. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
And lower myself and supplies for a platform down and see how that goes.
Okay.
I'm to start a building.
For the record, Feather Fall is a reaction spell.
Yes.
In case I need it.
So, give me a dex check.
Oh, goody. 5. Rolled a 2.
The important thing is you're okay.
Feather Fall is a reaction.
Feather Fall is a reaction. Okay. Yeah. Because the platform itself isn't terribly stable in the trees, as you're going down, even as slow as you are, you just start to pick up momentum swinging, and at some point you just kind of can't control it anymore, about 25 feet down, and you go toppling over the side.
Oh dear.
I assume you are going to...
Yes.
Yeah.
It's gonna just like very grumpily float to the ground. Well, the supplies are still on the rope, and that should lower just fine. Then we can attach the rope to the ground, and this won't happen again.
Yeah, Matilda, I think, is still on the ship.
Didn't I push her off of it last time?
Oh, you did. So she comes from out from under the brush, and she says, "That's the privy, this area."
Oh dear.
All of it?
Yeah, we have a whole forest.
She does have.
You at least dig the hole first.
I did. It's over there.
Okay.
Is that our supplies? Good. Okay. So
Try not to get hit by the swinging supply platform as it makes its way down.
you all see it's swinging and stops about halfway, and you can hear the kind of the pulley kind of catch a couple times, and it just kind of stops about 50 feet up.
Well, who has the best throwing arm? I need to go fix the pulley.
You want one of us to throw you?
No, I'm being upset and perhaps more than a bit sarcastic.
Oh, okay.
Finally lowers his hand slowly.
I do appreciate the help.
Perhaps we could just construct a ladder. Wait, how high up is the ship?
Ship's 100 feet. The platform's 50.
Do we still have the initial rope that Claire used to start getting people down?
Yes.
Okay.
I have a different rope, which I can use.
Issabel's gonna start making her way back up on the rope.
Okay.
I will steady the rope so that Issabel has an easier time climbing it. And actually, you know what? Never mind, that wouldn't work.
Hang on, I'm looking something up. If I can... I'm not good at finding things in this book. Never really had to before now. Nope. Not enough.
Okay.
Curse these spell range limitations.
Lady Wynne, you are a ranger, are you not?
Huh?
Yes, a ranger, explorer of sorts. Naturist, if you will.
Oh, I do like nature. You need something, pal?
Well, I was just wondering if you could give us any insight into this hostile environment we found ourselves in.
I don't know, Andy. Do I have any insight into this hostile environment we find ourselves in?
Give me a D100 check. Check. It's just the D100 roll.
Okay. $62.
Okay. You looking through your book, you see written there is Elsyer's oldest trees are over 5,000 years old, predating even the Gracefall.
Oh no.
Cool.
Wynne will just point to one of the trees and go, "They're really old."
Wonderful.
Handwritten next to that note in kind of a tight, scrawly handwriting written in red ink, it just says, "Don't look up."
You might want to keep your eyes in front of you.
I don't think I'm capable of not doing that physically.
That's really unfortunate news to hear as I'm currently climbing a rope.
Yeah, Dexter's like, the ship, we have to look. The ship's up there. We have to look up. Like, literally, we can't not. Also, you all can hear that the captain and first mate they are just screaming at each other at this point. And the captain pushes the first mate off the ship, and the first mate's an Aarakocra, so it just kind of flies down, and it circles. He circles, glaring at Gris the whole time, and he's like, "I meant it." Just kind of.
Excuse me, sir. Given that you are capable of aerial flight, could you please help us construct this lift?
He's like, I mean, he could try. He doesn't really have.
For the most part, we just need you to hold some ropes and levers in place.
He can try. But he'll circle down as Issabel is going back up. Okay, you get back up to the ship, Issabel. In this kind of swaying vine rope. That seems pretty sturdy. Okay, so what do you want to do when you get back up there?
Check what jammed on the pulley.
Oh, it's just out of... Like, it just can't go any... It literally can't go any further.
Do we have more rope?
Yes.
Can I make it a bigger spindle?
Yeah, give me a... artificer check. Blacksmith or tinkerer's tools or whatever you have. Your construction equipment.
Tinker's tools, so... Int and double proficiency?
Yes.
Is that how that works? Okay.
The big number.
$17.
Okay. Okay, yeah, so you think you can, this is gonna be, so you have to pull it back up, redo it, but then it's going back down. I don't know if you want to ride down on it again or try.
I'm not going to ride down with it this time. Yeah. I think I've learned that lesson. I'm going to watch it go down, and when it hits the bottom, then I'll go down.
Okay, perfect. So this time, it's a little more... It's swaying a lot, so you kind of have to stop it every once in a while, let it calm down, sway some more, and then it eventually hits the ground.
Wonderful.
Shame only Featherfall lasts a minute, otherwise I'd jump out again.
Yeah.
Excellent work, Lady Issabel.
Instead, let's slide down on the rope and get to work on a platform.
Be wary of rope burns.
Okay.
Issabel's just looking down, sliding. She has her metal hand on the rope, just...
Ah, right.
Okay.
Be wary of slicing the rope in that case.
Okay.
Slightly more useful statement. So what now?
Somebody talked about needing a... Well, so there's like a big tree canopy, by us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that's probably more than 30 feet, right?
Yes.
Okay. Because I was going to say, I can minor illusion like a big arrow on our position to see if like any of the other ships spot it, but I think I'm too far out of range.
Yeah, probably. So you could go... a lot of going back up to the ship. Could go back up to the ship and then cast it above that. But from down here, you won't be able to affect above the forest.
Well, my thought in that regard was to take maybe a couple spare engine parts, build a big tube on the ground that's pointing up, and put a piece of fuel in it, and just have a rocket engine that fires up.
Oh, a flare.
Yeah,
essentially a very big one,
a flare, okay. Yeah. You could certainly try.
That's probably going to take a bit of doing.
Yes, so...
I'm essentially taking the planet and attaching a rocket engine to it. Which isn't going to move the planet, but it should put out a lot of smoke and fire.
Do you want to do that in the woods, or do you want to try and get out of the woods?
Well, can we see an out of the woods, or at least a clearing?
Everyone can give me perception checks, and I'll roll for some NPCs, too.
I miss being able to say just 20 on that.
11.
I rolled a natural 20.
7!
Ooh.
15.
Okay, perfect. Most of the NPCs seem... they're just kind of looking around. Although Dust is pretty perceptive because he only has mental stats. But so Wynne and Claire, looking around, there does look like there's a clearing about a bit. You can see there's a brighter patch of forest up ahead that you assume is a clearing of some kind. Yeah, I mean, chat saying you could just set everything on fire and it's a flare.
I mean, I'm assuming semi-tropical for some reason, so...
It is...
Also,
they're pine trees.
I'd rather not...
no, this is going to be a whole lot of tinder.
I'd rather not burn down an old-growth forest, if
Also
we can
that.
avoid it.
Yeah, let's get at least a couple of years into exploration before we start with the ecological destruction.
Dexter puts an axe away. I wasn't...
Just, be sparing with what you
here.
cut down. There's plenty of... Believe me, we destroyed plenty of trees with that risky landing. You can use some of the wood from those.
Just looks up again. I'm not supposed to look up.
What's wrong with looking up, anyways?
I don't know. Wynne said not to do it.
Finishes work on platform, looks up to the rest of the winch.
Clangley is going to start using his cartographer's kit to map out the immediate surrounding area.
Sure.
He's not going to stray too far from the camp. It'll take note of a few, landmarks and try to map out sort of the route to the clearing if it's not too far.
Yeah, it's within eyesight.
Yeah.
Sorry. Let me rephrase that as a question. You don't want to leave eyesight of the group, is that right?
Yes, I don't want to travel too
Okay.
far. I want to make sure. I don't want to. I heard a long time ago you're not supposed to split the party.
That's ancient
try.
advice. It's a proverb.
Yeah. Thou shalt not split thine party.
Unless it be necessary or really cool.
Yeah, I mean, look, split the party, but I don't.
I've been going back and forth up on a rope this entire episode.
You've been splitting the party, so it's fine. Everybody has. Okay. Eventually, Gris will come down, and he kind of grumbles. Him and the first mate stay on the other sides of the thing, and Clangley starts circling, and noting the surrounding. It's a lot of tree.
So no landmarks, just one big...
Not where you are currently. There's a bigger tree, a slightly bigger tree. It's taller and prettier than all the other ones.
There's not a whole lot to mark on a hypothetical map, then, huh?
No, but you are still... No, you can note any sort of plants you see, and then the clearing area. All maps have to start somewhere. Okay.
Journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
Okay, so... Issa, you said you were looking up at the winch, so give me a perception check.
Not tempting fate to see what happens. I don't know what you're talking about. 16.
16? Okay. Okay. Looking up, and you all can hear rustling, but you don't see anything. Except for Issa, you do see there is something crawling through the trees up at the winch. And it's a really large creature, and you can tell it has a black and gray stripes.
Good. Great. Glad. Everyone, we have company.
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 Hmm.
I'm not going to be riding the lift for a minute.
Is this creature hostile?
I mean, Wynne can speak to small beasts. I'm sure she can find out.
Small beast.
Small beasts.
What about big ones?
That's a different thing. I did not take that spell today.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you want to use your gnome trait
Yeah.
to... Okay. So how do you envision this works? Because I have a way I think it works, but I'd like to know what you think. I think they're going to be the same.
I mean, she would just look to where Issa's point and be like, "Hello there."
Oh, okay. So you are speaking common, though? You're not, like, chittering and chattering at it?
I think it's a bit of both. It's
Okay.
like... it's sort of like, a sort of, like, mishmash of, like, different animal sounds. Like someone who's, like, going through, like, different languages.
Okay.
You want to say your cat is like perfectly positioned in the background?
Okay. So when you do that, after you do that, you can hear the creature chitters back at you.
Oh.
And it's followed by like a sea of smaller chitters.
Oh, guest. Not guest. Guest.
Wynne, emboldened, will ask, "Oh, how are you? What's going on?"
Soup and Chat asks if it's between bat and hawk sized.
Well, is it?
I would say it's bigger than a bat or a hawk.
It's between hawk and rock size.
It's smaller than the bird, you'd say, yeah. Sorry, you asked how was it doing today?
Yeah.
It'll chitter back, basically saying hungry.
Oh.
You have zap zaps?
Apps.
Zap zaps?
Yes, it says Big Metal has zap zaps. Or Big Rock. Doesn't really know what metal is.
Oh, like electricity?
Zap zaps.
Engines aren't firing, boiler isn't on, turbine shouldn't be spinning. Electrical system should be mostly dead at the moment.
If we could get you some, but we would need help making it.
How much zap zaps you promise?
Between one and many.
You can hear it chitters, and the chorus of other smaller chitters answer like, "We would like many. Many sounds good." And climbing down the tree is, you would say, for reference, it's the size of a bear, a large bear, is a raccoon. That's just kind of, its fur is kind of like just sticking up on end as if like in a cartoon it's been electrocuted, and its eyes are glowing bright yellow. And it kind of gets close to Wynne and starts to smell her a little bit, and then like sits on its butt, its big floofy butt, kind of starts like preening its hands, and looks at the Warforged and says, "Zap zaps."
Oh, no. They're run by magic, I think? They don't taste very good.
Actually trying to see if I have any lightning spells.
Okay. Should have a portable boiler. Turbine setup and it's... think we have the supplies for at least a small generator. Because we can't turn the ship on without firing the engines, which means making the ship go, which we shouldn't do right now.
Yeah.
Truly wise to feed these strange creatures.
It might be wise if we can make friends out of them.
Dust says, "Aren't you not supposed to feed stray animals? Then they're like your animals."
Do you not want a giant raccoon friend?
Oh, is it a giant raccoon?
Yeah.
Yes.
A giant
Why would you
lightning
not
raccoon?
want to have a giant
It's
raccoon
a giant
friend?
lightning
Change my
raccoon.
mind.
Daniel?
I'm on board with this. I am 100% on board with this.
So it is possible to do like a portable generator?
I mean, that's a thing that Issabel would know how to make if we have the materials for it, is really more the question.
It's, do you want to devote the time and resources to feeding this giant raccoon?
And
its babies. Lots of giant animals have babies. It's a recurring theme on this show. The
Of the
episodes.
two giant animals that we found so far, both of them have had babies, so...
So
Guess what supplies if we can spare it, would be more a question for Maddie, since she's quartermaster. She'd have the best idea of what's on and not necessarily expendable, but if this is worthwhile.
She is looking at this creature and then looking at all of you and like, no, what? I do not have the resource. We need to be getting out of these woods. Not, it's a raccoon. It's a giant.
We also need to not be getting eaten by the giant raccoon.
There's like 15 of us. There's not that many. There's like 10 of us.
Madam, you can count, right? How
Yes,
many of
that
us
is
are
actually
there?
that is actually my job, so I can count.
Good.
There's the 4 of you. There's the so that's 7. There's 2. It's like 10-ish.
Okay, you were in charge of materials, not the crew manifest. Got it.
Wait, it's 10 plus. It's 11. It's 10 plus me. I always forget me.
Issabel's just having a moment.
I'm a corporate stooge. I don't know what you want me to do.
Druid is making checks that we might not be able to cash. Our quartermaster doesn't know how to count and doesn't know how to count for many people.
What do we do to try and... I don't have a giant electrical generator of any kind. Claire, do you have a giant electrical generator of some kind?
I have necromancy spells that are usually used to take life out of things. Maybe that could be Jared, like, to like give energy to a generator. I don't know.
Wynne, darling, can you ask them how they normally get their zaps?
Okay. Yeah, Wynn will ask, like, where do they get their zaps from?
They say, best zaps come from big rains on top trees. Betters, some zap zaps come from bugs. They okay zap zaps. Basically, they either get struck by lightning or they eat giant lightning bugs.
It's just the greatest campaign ever.
Maddie, how about a lightning rod? Can we spare a lightning rod?
Yeah, I guess.
Ask them how common storms are, Wynne, please.
Yeah, we'll ask when the next storm is.
They chitter up to the other raccoons. And a chorus of responses, and they say, soon. We feel it soon. Tonight.
Tonight.
Better get cracking then.
All right. I would like to help build a large lightning rod.
So Wynne will say, we do have the means to give you many zap zaps. We just need some time to prepare for the next storm.
Tell more. Tell more.
We're gonna make a big rod that attracts zap zaps.
Guides them.
Guides them to you. But we need a little time to make it up. Can you do us a favor in the meantime?
Queen of zap zaps, yes.
Where we have other people who look like us, friends. Can you go find them for us and just see where they are?
Yes.
I'm naming this NPC in my notes Queen Zap Zap so everyone knows.
I'm a fan.
Okay.
So they're cool with going to find the rest of our stuff.
So Queen Zap Zaps climbs back up the tree. You can see a bunch of smaller, similar creatures kind of latch onto her back, and she climbs up and starts skittering across the treetops, looking for your fellow employees. Okay. So, it sounds like one lightning rod was added to the itinerary of also perhaps building a shelter.
Speaking of lighting, Andy, I just saw one flash behind you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's been having fun back there.
It's something crazy happening right now. It's the heat. We've been getting wicked storms at night. Yeah, there was just a big rumble of thunder. Hopefully it'll pass. But I think it's been going all episode, so... Okay.
No, Her Majesty was correct, then the next storm is very soon.
It's very soon. Currently happening.
Yeah. So, I think Wynne would take over building a lightning rod, or helping to build a lightning rod.
I don't think a lightning rod's too tall of an ask, given that it's just like a really long stick.
Yeah, I mean, I was just gonna put it in the clearing and wait for them to come back.
Okay.
Sounds like a good idea.
That was going to be my question of where you put it.
Really big metal stick, maybe a little bit of copper coiling around the base of it.
Okay.
Capacitor on it so it'll hold charge for a little bit, and then just two big handles for them to grab at. One's a positive end, one's a negative end. They can just zap. Get what they want.
Perfect. Okay, so Clangley, did you go into the clearing when you were making the map, or did you just go to the edge of it? Dan?
Sorry, yes. I basically went a little bit into the clearing, but again, I wanted to stay within, I wanted to stay...
Yep,
There's
two.
two. Hold on a second. Okay, there we go. So you went slightly. Okay, so Clangley, if you had looked into the clearing, you would have noticed that, unlike the forest, which, I mean, appears as you players would understand a big pine forest to look, the players, the characters, except for Issabel, are. You've probably never seen this many trees in a single place at any given time. So that's a little odd, but they're just trees. But in the glade, everything is kind of covered in like this iridescent sheen, almost like as if it were covered in like an oil spill. But it just looks, it's like a bunch of rocks and logs and stuff, and just a grass field. It's just everything kind of shimmers and looks a little rainbowy, reflective in the light. And Wynne, as you walk over, you see that as well.
How strange. Is this like anything you've seen before?
Detect magic.
That is an option.
Detect magic.
Because I don't think I can identify weird random sheen.
That would be a good spell, though.
I have identified too.
Let's double check. Detect. No, not detect ma. Detect magic, D&D Beyond.
Detect ma. Where's my ma at?
There's ma. Why?
Ma! It's a weird cat outside.
There's a weird stray cat outside. Looks like grandmother thing.
It's a raccoon.
Okay, let's see. For the duration, magic within 30 feet. Okay. So, first of all, Warforged are magic. That's so they show up. Claire shows up as slightly different than the other Warforged, though.
I mean, I probably half show up, so the only people that don't ping detect magic would be Dust, Gree, and the other pilot's name who I just forgot. Where is it in my notes? Oh no.
Hamlet.
Hamlet.
Hamlet says, "What doing?" He's named after a TikTok bird. So there's that. Nothing about the glade is inherently magical, though.
So after the incident with the raccoon being, Claire had actually given up trying to be useful and is now like walking around the surrounding area, kind of investigating like plant life and like any sort of like new material that could possibly be like have some kind of medicinal use or implication. And she kind of comes up behind the people investigating the clearing. And I want to use Mage Hand to gather up a little bit of, I guess, the oily substance and put it into one of her empty vials. Not going to touch it directly.
Okay. So
is it actually like an oily substance?
So no. So everything in the glade just has this sheen. So it's not. It's not. It's not like covered in an oil. It's just that everything here is shimmery for some reason.
Then she's going to use the very scientific method of poke it with Mage Hand and see what happens.
Okay.
I was going to use the stick.
When you poke it, it does it.
We're about to have to fight a Chameleos.
Yeah. So you poke it, and it's it does react almost like an animal would. Like it kind of recoils, and like the branch or whatever kind of like snaps at you a little bit.
Ah. Can I make some kind of check to see if I get any sense of what this is from that?
Sure, give me a nature check.
Oh, it's not too bad for me. God, that was so close to being so much higher. An 11. No, a 10.
Okay. Yeah, other than the fact that it acts almost like a predator, it's a stick. And
Okay,
and it's like nothing. It's also like nothing here is the same. You know, it's like a stick. They're all covered in this substance. It's a stick. It's grass. It's all of the grass.
Going to slowly back away from the angry shimmer.
Bizarre situation we found ourselves in.
Yes.
Kura's gonna like take out a battered old notebook and like note this down.
Okay.
She's having a little bit of trouble writing, but she's doing her best.
Wynne is going to just like reach out her hand a little bit and cast Druidcraft and make a flower grow like on the grass in the shimmer.
Okay, yeah. A flower grows, and almost like a mold or a fungus spreading, as soon as it's done growing, it kind of, from the bottom up, gets this iridescent shimmer.
I hesitate to say it, but I almost want to look up.
I guess Wynne's gonna consult her notebook again.
Okay, hold on. I have to... roll another D100, please.
53.
Oh, that's gross. Sorry. It says that some trees and other plant life have a way to warn each other of danger. They can increase certain pollen production, and the other trees know that a herd of animals or other things that eat plants are nearby. And they can use it's not pollen. It's a kind of gas, ethylene. It says, and they can make themselves poisonous if there's too much ethylene in the air.
Wynne will just say, this might be poison.
Oh dear, maybe we should stay away from it then.
As soon as the branch hissed, Issabel left and went to go finish working on the lightning rods.
Nope, goodbye.
I've seen branches before. None of them have ever hissed at me that have been actual branches. No.
Is there like a different clearing we can put it? Because I do feel like setting up a lightning rod in the middle of a bunch of trees might
Why
not
don't we
be
just put it on top of the ship?
Because eventually the ship's going to move, and I'm pretty sure these raccoons are going to want to keep the lightning rod.
Right.
Yeah.
Claire's gonna look at Wynne and with her mage hand kind of gesture to the flower and be like, "May I?" As if to like take it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so with her mage hand, she's gonna pluck the flower and bring it close, not like right up to her face, but like close enough to get a better look at it.
So unlike the branch, it doesn't react right away, maybe because it's new or something like that. But yeah, or magic. But you pick it and bring it close to you. It doesn't flinch or hiss or snap or anything.
Does the shimmer go away when we take it out of the clearing?
If you step back and like pull it past the edge of the clearing, yes, the shimmer goes away.
Oh. Interesting. Claire's gonna like put the flower in a little vial and tuck it away somewhere. Just for further use. Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Does Clark get the sense that if something non-organic were to go in the clearing, they would be affected?
Your hand is non-organic. I mean, it's just a magic hand, and that it reacted. You don't know. I mean, it's incorporeal, or you can't like feel pain or anything. You can't sense it through that. But so, yeah, you think it's just some kind of sensor, or like it reacts to motion more than if it's living or not.
Okay. There's a very real battle happening in Claire's mind between like the panic of being on a new planet and not knowing anything, and the like genuine morbid curiosity that was magically instilled in her. And so she's just gonna kind of stand at the clearing and make as a close approximation to intense faces she can get.
Okay.
Wynne will write in her notebook. Magic oil glitter is probably dangerous. Underline.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Issa went back to the ship.
Working on a lightning rod.
Okay. Yeah, you can assemble a lightning rod out of spare bits of the ship that they were like part of the repair kit. You're not going to need it. I mean, it's not going to help anymore.
That was clawed off by giant talons.
Yeah, exactly. It's this rod and copper wire bits aren't going to fix everything that's wrong with the ship.
The ship is fine now, thank you. We fixed it. It's just stuck in trees. The problem with the ship is not the ship. It is where the ship is.
That's what I mean. Okay. You are correct. Okay, so now the question is, where do you want to put this lightning rod?
Issabel's actually going to think for a minute. And then she's going to start putting, like, straps or something on the bottom so that Queen Zap Zaps can wear it as a crown.
Okay.
Why pick a location when we can just give it to someone who wants it?
Just picturing
I was gonna say, make it a backpack or something.
Yeah, backpack.
Then it's not a crown, and like, besides, with a backpack, like that's where the kids go.
Oh,
True.
that is where the kids go. I am just picturing like an old leather football helmet, but with a giant lightning rod on the top of it.
Yep.
Okay. Yep. You strap that together with the help of some of the Warforged.
Everyone, locations aren't working out so well, so instead we are deciding to give her this most wonderful hat.
Warforged nod, like that makes sense. Okay. Now, as those who are still near the glade, you can see that the sky is indeed getting darker, both because the sun is setting, but also there are dark clouds coming in off the horizon. And there's a very stark contrast kind of between the beautiful sunset, uninhibited by light pollution, basically, and these dark clouds rolling in.
Wynne will just say, "Wow, does this suddenly seem brighter to you?
Brighter?
Like you can see it?
The clearing or the...
No, the sun.
Yeah. Oh, what?
The sun.
Oh, the sun. Oh, right. There's a sun. Sorry, I don't have a lot of memories of the sun. I guess.
What was that, Clangley?
Huh.
Oh,
How
sorry.
long are the days on this planet? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's okay.
For convenience, 24 hours.
Nice.
How convenient.
How convenient.
And
Claire's
it's-
going to stare
convenient.
directly into the sun.
Hold on, I did make a calendar like a fool for a fantasy setting.
It happens.
Well, now that we're done being a haberdasher, Grease Hamlet, how secure in the trees is the ship, and how secure will it be in wind?
Chris will kind of look at you and be like, why, does wind move trees?
Yes, a lot.
Huh. Probably not very.
Well, everyone, we have a couple choices. We have a storm to weather. We can either try to make a shelter down here on the ground, or we can try to affix the ship to the trees, at least temporarily, and weather in that. But there's a chance if we do that, we'll be inside it if it falls.
I vote ground, and as far away as we could possibly get without dying, so we aren't crushed by the ship.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to shelter during a storm under trees. That seems like a very bad idea.
Would you prefer to be in the spooky, shimmery death clearing?
Okay, I'll take my chances with the trees.
We're stuck between a lightning and lightning place. Unfortunately, we're about to give a raccoon a lightning rod, so that should... Well, a good chunk of us are made out of metal.
But if we make another lightning rod, won't the lightning go there instead of, hitting me or them or them or them? Or it points to like each of the Warforged.
Yes, if the lightning rod is working properly, it shouldn't be an issue.
Two lightning rods.
Look, I will work on constructing us a shelter where you try and prepare one of those lightning rods. Two of those lightning rods. However many lightning rods we decide.
Well, we have one for Queen Zap Zap, and so we need another one for us.
Should we find a better clearing? One that isn't full of predator mist?
That would probably be a better idea.
Claire's gonna look at Wynne and like gesture in the opposite direction from the death clearing. Maybe that way?
Sure.
Onward towards adventure!
Why is the one person in this party with the most experience in nature the least interested in it?
Okay, so Matilda starts grabbing supplies, asking for help from the Warforged to pick up basically the platform with her. one on each corner, and start moving it in your direction.
Can I guess what's my feet? Or do I have any Outlander thing that I can use for this?
Yeah. How do you want to leverage Outlander?
I do have an excellent memory for maps and geography. So maybe I would be able to, like, take a look around and see if I could, maybe mark down on the path if, like, there are any other, like, directions to go. Or any other clearings or anything like that.
Okay. So, yeah, so looking for telltale signs of clearings, like the one you saw before, but minus the murder mist, the murder filter. You start walking,
No murder.
and about a kilometer away from the ship, you find another clearing. The sky is very dark now. And you can start to hear the rumbles of thunder.
So should we, like, roll to see how the construction of the shelter went, or the lightning rods?
Well, is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I said I wanted to construct some shelter for us to make sure that we don't get killed by falling debris, if possible.
So yeah, so now that you're here, you can build. Yep.
Oh my.
So now that you're here, you can build some of the emergency shelters that come with the supplies that the others put down. So working together, you can all fairly quickly build them, and you know they're not great long term, but they'll last the night for sure. And then you can kind of affix them. Well, you don't plan on, I assume, affixing them permanently here. This isn't where you're supposed to be, but okay. So you built the shelters. What else would you all like to do?
Set up the spare lightning rod and put the queen's hat next to it.
Okay. So
Leave it next there as another lightning rod until she gets back.
okay. Anything else from anyone?
Temporary shelters are set up, and the lightning rods are
Did
out.
Wynne and I find anything else?
I'm sorry, what were you looking for again?
Do Wynne and I find anything
Yeah, I'm sorry, were you
else
looking
in
for...
exploring?
Oh, you see... So, while exploring, you occasionally catch a glimpse of Queen Zap Zap kind of rustling through the top of the woods. She'll occasionally chitter back that she hasn't seen any of your fellows yet. You see occasionally a couple birds. They too are very large, but they don't seem to bother you. But other than that, the forest is shockingly devoid of life, kind of ground level. And you don't really find much else.
Concerning.
That's weird. I don't think we should go much farther. Especially if it's this dark.
Yeah. I mean, I guess nature's a little weirder than I thought.
Have you ever seen these this many trees?
No, never.
I can't remember ever seeing one. I didn't think they'd be this big.
Normally they're not.
Normally? Okay, that's concerning.
Well, the
Wait,
ones
so
I'm
you've seen
used
trees
to aren't.
before?
Yes.
I believe these are just very old, as Wynne so elegantly put.
Hmm.
Oh yes, we've just landed our spacecraft on a large old-growth forest.
So nothing else has disturbed these trees for, I guess, however long they've been alive? Huh. So, Miss Issabel, you said you've seen trees before?
Yes, quite a few.
Huh. Where'd you see
Not
them?
up on, it's back home, trees were much sparser, a little smaller, much snowier. The few times we went above ground. Lots traveling to and from Waterdeep. Yes, I'm not from your moon, if you didn't know. It's weird plane shifting, something happened,
Oh, that
Magic is
nonsense
weird.
happens all the time.
Magic is very weird, and it's especially weird here.
You don't have to tell me.
Well, it doesn't work here as far as I can tell, but... at least not the same.
I mean, it worked on me.
Yes, if magic didn't work, I don't think I would be sitting here talking to you.
None of us would. She gestures to the rest of the Warforged.
Well, magic clearly works, but there's some base difference to it that I haven't been able to figure out. Like, this has clearly been a slight source of frustration that Issabel has been distracting herself from. She's gonna pull out her wizard spellbook and just start flipping through it, because none of this works anymore. It used to work, and the theory is sound. It won't.
Can I see?
Please, by all means.
And technically, my builder was a master wizard. Can Claire try to help Issabel with her magic problem?
Sure, yeah.
Oh yeah, hit me with 5 wizard levels right now. Let's go.
Yeah. So yeah, looking at the book, this just isn't how you cast spells. Like, you're like, it makes sense. Like, you know, it's noting verbal components, somatic components. A lot of the material components are correct, but the verbal and somatic are wrong, and the spell is written out in a, you know, kind of long form, and you're just like, this just isn't how wizardly magic works here. It's just different than this. Dust is kind of like peeking over your shoulders, and he's like, I'm a sorcerer, so this is all nonsense to me.
Well, we can't all just have magic innately.
Yes, some of us have to learn it.
My dad was struck by lightning.
Oh, you'll get along great with the raccoons then.
We can't all be so lucky. Claire is good at hand the wizard spell book back to Issabel and say, well, it seems like you've got a little bit of an arcana culture shock on your hands.
It seems so.
It just seems there's a fundamental difference between the magic that you use and the magic that at least she studied. Here, Claire will hand the notebook that she has, which is just like all of the research notes that were used to build her, essentially, to Issabel, and that's like just like several years of necromantic studies. And we'll like kind of show the like verbal and semantic components that are etched into her arms of like, this is how we cast magic here. This is how it's done.
Well, not every mage carves it into their arms, but yes, it would appear that
So
Lady Claire is enchanted, so to speak, but even more so than usual.
at this point, I assume we're just sheltered and kind of waiting for the storm to hit.
Yeah.
So we're just shooting the shit until the storm's over.
Mhm.
Isabel's gonna
Campfire
kind of
conversations.
look at Claire's arms for a bit, and like she's very clearly kind of studying it. Then she's gonna really kind of concerningly pop her arm into gun mode, grab her thumb, pull it back and twist it, and her entire forearm is going to kind of pop open. Just like spread open like this, and she's going to start looking through how some of her internal components in her arm are built and designed, and you can also see all of the intricacies in her forearm of how the gun works, which is real neat.
I say,
Nice.
it's quite a fascinating design.
Thank you. It's... well, 4 Bronzeworthies over 3 generations put work into it. It's kind of a weird culmination of family legacy. The attunement system was my father's, the general workings of the arm are my brother. A lot of the magical components are my grandmother's, and the firearm is obviously mine. Firearm. I'll never not find that amusing.
Ah, yes, it's quite novel.
And a little bit of for camaraderie, Claire will also open her own arm, and it's definitely not nearly as intricate, but it's again like kind of the Victorian automatons where it's just kind of like a metal cage and then a couple of like wires running through it, but it's very clearly like full of weird necromantic bullshit. She's like,
That's...
Yes, I think
I'm
it is
a-
quite clear to me now that you were not designed for manual labor. I apologize for-
simultaneously very simple and very
I was
intricate.
designed to live forever.
Designed to what?
I was designed to live forever.
Well, unfortunately, Sorry,
Long
continue.
time.
yes, and sadly, not even machines can live forever. And then Clangley's gonna open up his own arm, and you see that there's like, it's almost like a jury-rigged mess inside of his arm. There's so many different parts from so many different generations of Warforged. You can tell this arm has clearly been replaced and rebuilt and reworked over and over again. You can measure 20 years of mechanical progress. You know, I've replaced almost every part of myself, and yet I am still the same person as I was when I was first built.
At what point
Interesting,
does it
that.
cease to be the same, Clangley?
Who knows? Something I've stopped caring about a long time ago.
Leave the philosophizing to the philosophizers, I guess.
I know only that I feel I am still Clangley. And that is good enough for me.
Alright, Wynne, your turn. Open that arm up. See what you got.
Yeah, Wynne just kind of looks down at her arms like, I got a little necklace. And she'll hold up like a little wooden amulet with like a flame in copper engraved on it.
How
I got this.
Oh, I have one of those too! And Issabel's going to pull out an ancestral, just like... it's a little symbol of Durgan Brightmantle, dwarven god of invention.
Oh.
And in the family for... well, as long as there's been a family, I think.
They don't have
Oh,
him
yeah.
here.
That's very unfortunate for Issabel.
Novel holy symbol. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before.
That's a cute
I'm
little dude.
It's okay, just the god of invention. He's kind of really a cool big deal, but whatever, you know.
Kind of the
I'm-
clan patron god, just
I'm
And a
no
clan-
religious scholar
and a-
myself.
god that doesn't seem to exist here. It's fine. Everything's fine. I'm fine. Occurs to me I maybe not have given myself time to really absorb what ending up here is actually meant.
Oh,
Oh my.
I'm sure you'll find your way back eventually, if that is your desire. Of course, this world has plenty of amazing things to offer. Those raccoons eat lightning. How fascinating is that?
Well, you certainly aren't wrong.
And the Shimmer hates you.
I don't quite know what that thing is. And it
Lightning-eating raccoons, death shimmer, giant birds that tear ships from the sky. This has been an adventure, and that's what I signed up for.
Yes. Well, I'd like to propose a toast. And then Clangley will take out like a flask of oil. To adventure.
To adventure.
To adventure?
Adventure.
He will take a long swig of said flask.
Okay. Okay. So as you're all talking, there's a couple kind of hanging lanterns around you, little buzzing electrical lights that kind of crackle and hum, swinging in the increasing wind. You can hear the trees around you cracking. Outside of your little pool of light, it's hard to see too far into the distance, but you've built a couple little shelters since there are 11 of you. A couple of these shelters, you're all in one. Most of the other crew are, spread out among the other ones. You can see through the cracks of lightning that light up the area around you. Queen Zapsaps has returned for her crown and has taken it. And you can see the lightning strikes it. Her eyes glow super bright, and the lightning kind of arcs off of her and through all of her children, who, it just kind of creates like a static field that glows for a bit as she kind of crawls back into the woods, satiated and fed. Okay.
And she never found our friends, right?
She is going to continue looking for them, and she'll perhaps come back in the morning.
Okay.
To let you know, but she didn't want to. You kept your end of the bargain. She'll try and keep hers.
Well, we have at least one creature on this that isn't trying to eat us, so...
Making progress.
Domesticated or something.
The key to big wild animals not eating you is for you to find something better for them to eat. And if we just keep doing that, I think we'll be fine.
It might be a bit more difficult if we get to something that eats meat, but...
I don't see why that would be an issue at all.
Yeah, a good deal of us aren't meat.
Clearly. Good for you.
Now, if we encounter a rust monster, that would be a problem.
Yes.
For everyone.
I'm affected by both of these things, haha!
Well, think of it this way.
I'm in danger.
You have the experience of both the organic and the, what would the word be? Metallic? That's a unique gift in this world. Not many people can say that they know what it's like to be both metallic and organic. Clangley doesn't know Claire's backstory, just for the record.
She's not divulging it. Yeah. She's just kind of sitting there awkwardly looking between the two of you like...
Oh, and I do want to clarify.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
She
what that's like.
specifically doesn't want to say the words that she remembers what it was like to have flesh.
Oh, that's a weird way to put it. Uh,
Yes, I remember being squishy.
Earlier, I said that Warforged do show up in detect magic because their batteries are magical, but but like Claire and Clangley both said, all of their parts are mechanical, so they do have to repair their parts, but they have a magic battery. That's why they show up very faintly in detect magic. But Claire shows up differently because she runs differently. Okay, but eventually, I just wanted to clarify that the storm passes, and it's still night. And though you're in a clearing, so the storm passes, and you can see the bright light of the moon and just a sky full of stars, which almost certainly 3 of you have never seen a sky full of stars before because of light pollution.
Fascinating.
Kind of looks like a city.
What was the best
Like
part
the-
of whenever we traveled to the surface?
It's like a city, but better.
No. I'm very excited for what this new world is going to bring. Imagine all of the new experiences, untapped potential this land has.
Guess no one we know will have ever experienced them before.
Exactly,
You can
we'll
say
be
that
among
much.
the first.
Among the first.
The moon fills the sky, and it's a full moon tonight. You've seen the planet from the moon, obviously, and it's very bright in the sky, so you've still seen that at night. And during the day, it's close enough and big enough that it's just bright. But the moon is full, and the other crew members are kind of staring up into the sky, longingly and contemplatively, before Matilda starts to groan as if she's sick.
Oh no.
Medicine check.
Sure.
Also, here's a fun question. Who else has
God.
dark vision?
That's a great question.
5.
5? Okay. Okay. So that's a 5 medicine check from Claire. Who-
Actually, no, that would be an 8. Sorry, I
An 8.
rolled a 5.
Okay, perfect. Who has dark vision?
Oh, I do.
I don't know if Warforged have it.
I don't think so.
Not by
no.
default, no.
Okay. So
So 2 of us.
Yeah.
let's see.
First time in 3 years not having dark vision.
Yeah. Okay, so that means Dust has dark vision. So there's like 4 members of 11 that have dark vision. I don't think Lizard Folk or Aarakocra do either. Okay. Claire, how close do you get to Matilda, as she is clearly not well?
Well, I have to get pretty close, I
Okay.
imagine.
Yeah.
I don't really have a whole lot of trepidation about that because I technically cannot get sick.
Okay, yeah. So, so yeah, you're not afraid of a chain reaction kind of thing. She is doubled over, and as you get closer to her, you can see that sprouting on her forearm, bursting through her armor, is a deep, coarse fur.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Oh fuck! So yeah, backing away immediately. It's like, is there something you haven't told us?
She says,
Screaming.
she kind of keeps groaning and says, "What the fuck's happening to me?"
Well, madam, it seems that you're a werewolf, and we didn't know this because you were on the moon, and now you're under the moon, and that's doing things.
Oh!
What?
Yep.
Fuck.
Wait,
Yes.
How would it not work if it was on the moon? Wouldn't that make
I
What?
don't know. I'm not a werewolfologist. All I know is sprouting fur, full moon.
I'd like to roll an Arcana check to figure out what the fuck is going on.
Can I make that as well?
Sure.
Can I pry too?
Sure.
It's rolling off the table.
That's better. 17.
17. Okay.
21.
I actually rolled a 15.
Okay. That's.
Sorry. Oh no, she-canthrope killed me.
Yes, we can.
That's great, Marty. I also like
Marty
werewolf.
also be on every stream.
Yeah.
Well, yes, it is technically correct lichenologist. You were right on that. But again, Issabel's not a lichenologist,
Yeah,
so
she doesn't
werewolfologist it is.
Okay, yeah. So everybody got that check. Werewolves basically don't really exist on Wyan Yoth because you're on the moon. You can't see it.
Yeah.
Issabel was 100% right. So apparently, maybe there's just a dormant bloodline of werewolves on Wyan Yoth, and they just don't know.
We just not know. We probably don't know how to deal with it either.
What race is Matilda again?
He's human.
She's a human.
Yes.
Okay.
So, like, it's this like we don't know. I don't know what a werewolf is, so I guess we wouldn't know anything about silver or anything like that.
No.
Nope.
Not really.
Well, yes, but I also don't want to kill Matilda or hurt her. So we're gonna kind of let her transform and see how that goes, because
I cast sleep on Matilda.
Sure, yeah, do it before she gets all her werewolf hit points.
Yeah, like immediate. How many D8 is that? 5. Okay, I've got 5. Come on, big numbers. Ooh, those are a lot of big numbers. Dang. Okay, 15, 21, 28, 32.
Hold on a second.
Oh my! Those are big numbers.
it put me to sleep, but I'm not a tank, so
Yeah.
I would, put me to sleep too.
Yeah, I'd be out too.
For reference, how many hit points does everyone have?
I have 23.
24.
Yeah, I think 32 would knock her out. Okay, yeah, it knocks her out.
Yes. So just like as Claire is like stumbling back, she just like throws out a sleep spell in desperation, and this, as it works, is just kind of like standing there staring at her like, oh my god, something I did actually worked.
don't clap too loudly. We don't want to wake her up.
So her armor buckles and groans as she becomes this half-human, half-wolf form, kind of large and hulking. She was already a pretty big lady. And she just kind of groans, howls for a second, and then crashes into the ground.
Claire's like holding out her arms. She's like, somebody tie her up. This is only going to last a minute.
I tie her up
Okay.
We have chains.
with the chains. I use the chains to tie her up.
Okay. So
And then I use Green Flame Blade, the cantrip, to wield the chains in such a manner that they are, like, restricting her movement.
Okay.
Like, do we know what werewolves are?
Not
No.
really, no.
No.
Okay, so
she's
it's just what Isabel's telling us that she's about to go berserk.
a big wolf monster right now.
Big wolf monster that might be about to go berserk. Some of them do, some of them don't. It depends on things. I don't know.
You know what? Let's just for the safety, let's tie her up with the chains.
Yes. when she wakes up, we'll see. Well, we'll know pretty quickly if she's the kind that's still Maddie or if she's just mad.
Can I get an insight check real quick, and then we're going to wrap it up.
17.
Okay.
15.
15, okay.
Dirty
There
20.
is insight. ¿Dónde está insight? It's gonna add wisdom.
It's under
then, I guess.
history.
$16.
Okay. I think you all would notice that most of the crew seems freaked out, but Gloom especially keeps saying to himself, "Not again, it's happening again. Why is this happening again?
No! You just got out of Carcacus.
Why is everyone secretly a wolf?" Damn it.
Up.
Oh.
3. New record. High score.
Ding, 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 ding.
Sorry, everyone.
Oh, nope. There we go. Oh, wait. Hold on. We're all in the wrong... There we go. I forgot that it puts us in the wrong squares. Okay. There we go. So the other Dexter and Wheezy kind of try and calm him down. But yeah, he's clearly not well. This is clearly some kind of stressor for him.
Memo to us. Ask him what he knows about this when he's not freaking out about it. Well, when we're not all freaking out about it.
Okay. With you all tying up your werewolf companion and calming down your Warforged friend, we will wrap up the episode until next time. Outros and plugs. Dan.
Hi, I'm Dan. You can catch me here. And on my Twitter. I'm going to be streaming sometimes on twitch.tv/lightningfast. So, you know, if you want to check out my streams. I'm trying to stream Sonic Adventure, but my technical difficulties are being real bad.
Awesome. Liz.
Hi, I'm Liz. You can also just find me here. I don't really do social media too much, because I don't like talking to people too much. So, just see me here. This is the most conversation I have with people during the week. So there.
Perfect. Mira. I almost did it again.
Oh, so not used to going third. Yeah, you could find me on Instagram at Birds and Nerds. There is some new art of Claire. I'm very happy with how
Really
it turned out.
It's good.
And there might be some more art coming in the future. I would also like to give a shout out to @Bobbin Earrings, who made my little mushroom earrings that I'm wearing today. So yeah, go check them out if you want some very cute earrings. @Bobbin Earrings on Etsy. And also, as usual, play D&D with your friends. It's rough out there, and I can honestly say that this is like one of the best parts of my week. So play D&D with your friends. It's good.
Play games with your friends.
Yeah.
And Jay.
Hi, I'm Jay. You can catch me here. Surprisingly wore a pretty relevant shirt for us being on a planet full of Pokemon, it seems. And if you would like to know why Gloom is freaking out and why the rest of us reacted to that as we did, you can go all the way to our YouTube, all the way to like 3 or 4 years ago, and watch us struggle in Cartacus and learn all about Gloom and why he's stressed.
Yes, if you go to our YouTube and search, go to the playlists and find Homebrewed, BRWD. You will find our adventures in the Dread Realm Cartacus before it was rebooted for 5th edition.
Bad dogs, bad dogs.
Full of bad dogs. And it introduces us to Gloom, among other people. If you'd like to see more about Issabel, you can check out Keldon.
Silent
Nights.
Nights.
The playlist should be called Keldon, Celdon. And there was a 3 or 4 episode miniseries about my homebrew Dread Realm based on A Christmas Carol. That's it. Play D&D with your friends. Everybody be safe, wear a mask, get a vaccine if you can. We are off next week, but we will return on the 22nd for more Odyssey of the Dragon Lords. And then in 2 weeks, we'll be back for Gracefall Episode 3. That's it. Have a great night, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.